Oh. Yes. Now. I push the record button. Oh, I love this story upcoming today because I already have this correct vibe with very special guest. He is so inspirational role model. My beautiful audience, you have no idea. And I already shared with him that I try to dress up myself. And Mikey is like, Mom, come on, nobody's watching you today. This is fashionistic success worldwide. Why should you care how you look? It's about him. It's not about you. So welcome to the show. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being with us. You're so hard working, lovely soul, and you still have time for me and my show, which is still kind of baby podcast, but already kind of awarded baby podcast. We are making the
Yeah.
change. It's a ripples, right? It's
Yes,
stepping
indeed.
stones. Like to get this result, you know yourself. You will be sharing with us how to work hard to get what you want,
Yes,
right?
indeed.
So that's why I'm going to introduce you, and then the stage is all yours. And I'm learning to listen, not interrupting. So if if you like feel like Valeria is talking too much, then like you like.
No worries. No worries.
Okay, amazing. So okay, welcome to Diversity is the Game Changer title. You, me, we can still work because I do, but very often after the show actually we redo because we are producing some germs and pearls while we're talking, and it's so fun.
Okay.
But for now, it's just first of all, I would like to be sure that I pronounce correctly your beautiful name, Travon Ridley-Evans, right?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, but I call you then just how people call you, usually Travon or Trav or Trevor.
Trayvon.
Trevor.
Trayvon. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, then title for now it's like Travon Ridley-Evans, breaking the art barriers and transforming the narrative in global fashion.
Okay.
Like this. Cool.
I love
Okay, but
it.
we can still work on that. So
Yeah.
welcome back to Diversity is the Game Changer, where we dive deeply in the stories, really special stories, experiences, and insights of remarkable individuals, like our
Mm.
guest today, who are shaping the future of diversity and inclusion, especially now. It's important topic. It's not allowed to talk, but we are bold. Me and Trevor, we are bold and resilient. You know what? How to get there where we want. So welcome. Trevor is the CEO of the founder of. How should I pronounce also again correctly? Because English is my fourth language, like
Mhm.
Ukrainian, Russian, now Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and then common English. It's
It's crazy. Nonpareil.
uh, it's like
Pareil.
non-pareil, non.
Nonpareil.
How
Pareil.
how you pronounce non-pareil?
You can pronounce it nonpareil. Yeah, nonpareil is fine, but the actual pronunciation is nonpareil, which is like it's a French word. It means like no equal or no match, like not the same. Yeah,
This is the destiny. It's actually diverse. It's different, right?
yeah.
Oh my God, I knew it. Of course, amazing. Yes, a non-profit art agency and a trailblazing entrepreneur who's redefining the landscape of diversity in fashion, business, and arts. As chief and
Mm.
editor of USLA and Trendsetters, it's actually, I believe it's globally, Trendsetters only magazine, right?
Yes, that's correct.
He's the also a voice that amplifies stories of innovation and inclusion. And if that was not enough, he is a model with a lead Japan or all over the world now. He's so attractive. Everybody wants a piece of him. And today, for 1 hour, he's mine. And he stands for authenticity and breaking the barriers. Let's dive. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a true pleasure. When you reached out to me, I was like, oh, so humbled and like very
Oh,
like, wow, I get a
thank you.
DM
Ah,
from
now,
you.
now, now you're
Wow.
so shy. You're so big. Oh my God, when I saw your profile, I was like, oh wow. And actually today and yesterday, I was talking with one of the biggest celebrity fashion stylists. I will connect you guys.
Mm,
And he recently styled this Miss Universe, and he will be in Cannes.
mm.
And like he's just for the top celebs, and he's like, Valeria, who is you doing today? I was like, oh, you have no idea, fashionista XXL. And I sent your profile. He's like, oh my God, I love this guy and this outfit. I
Oh,
love to. I could wear. I
really?
could go like that.
Really?
Yes, I
Nice.
connect you guys because he is inspired because he's like, he's top professional, and then I choose him sometimes. I send like, Rafael, do you think it's okay that and that? He's like, I love it, but this is not my style. Okay, but when I send yours, he's like, I love it. I would wear it. It's like
Oh,
100%.
wow. That
Yes,
means a
I will
lot.
connect
That's
you guys.
awesome.
You,
Yes.
you two, and maybe me. We three, we kill that.
Oh,
But
yeah,
anyway,
indeed.
but now everything about your story, and I do believe really that all great storytellings and magic, which I do believe they still happen where in childhood. It's
Mm,
where we have our inspirations, dreams, probably adversity, probably not that funny story how everybody believed. So I would like really to dive, not like, machine always everybody wants in the future. Let's take this machine backwards a little bit today, and I
okay.
want you to welcome us to the kingdom or fairy tale, or we don't know, of a little cute Travon. Can you tell us about this guy?
Ah, okay, yeah, like the younger me, for sure.
Yes, yes,
Um,
younger you.
so born and raised in Michigan, actually. So from Detroit originally. Um, I uh, I grew up in not such a wealthy neighborhood. Let's
Mhm.
say grew up in a very poor neighborhood. For me, like fashion was something I was always really intrigued by and interested in at a very young age. I remember myself watching like fashion shows instead of like cartoons or like America's Next Top Model and things like this at like the age of like 7. So I kind of knew very young that I was like extremely interested into fashion and it was always like a passion of mine. And like regardless of the circumstances of like how I grew up and what I had, I always made the best out of what I had, like far as clothing wise, right? I always wanted to wear the nice button down shirt or the suit if I had one. I remember in like third grade for my birthday, I had this suit, and I said to myself, I really want to wear this suit. It's my birthday. It makes me feel like
Yeah.
someone important. And from the third grade on until now, every birthday I'm always in a suit. Like there's never a time that you find me without a suit. So for me, like yeah, the passion for actual fashion itself started very young, and growing up, I just kind of expressed it more as I got older, and yeah, I mean now here we are.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. First of all, when is your birthday? I would like really to congratulate you on that day, and I would like to see this year's your outfit, this
Yeah.
suit of the year. When is your birthday?
31st of May.
Of May.
Yeah,
Okay, and you
31 of
will
May.
be still in Cannes in the French Riviera.
I will
Last
be
day
in.
of yeah.
I would be in actually Monaco at that time because it's a Grand Prix. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's correct. Right. That's
Hmm.
correct. So okay. Beautifully, and I do love how you put like instead of maybe fairy tales, there was fashion shows, and I was also inspired by that. But for me, it was I made in Soviet. Okay, our fashion was like everything was gray, black, brown already too much color. So it was
Mm,
another story. So now I'm trying to catch kind of like
mm.
so amazing. So tell me then about your suit and fashion. It's like you wanted to do fashion because fashion is actually we are not doing fashion. We are fashion right now.
Mm.
You are fashion, but
Yeah.
you were like special attracted to some special brands, designers. You wanted to create yourself. You wanted to
For
style yourself, or you want to upcycle, or what
for
was?
for me, it was more so I was more so intrigued by like modeling. So that's what really caught my eye in the fashion industry. It was like by wanting to become a model and like these extravagant like editorial shoots I would see, these like brand campaigns and commercials, things like that is what really caught my eye. and really wanted me to. I wanted to step more into like the creative side of things, you know, when
Mm-hmm.
it came to styling myself and doing photos, etc. But it actually took me some time and some confidence before I went into the fashion industry. Um, so yeah, it's just it's a bit crazy because for me, I studied like international business,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always owned a company since I was like my first company I opened, I was 20. I'm 27 now, so I've always been in like the entrepreneurial mindset and like running companies, and I felt like that was the safest route for me. But at some point, when I turned like, I think I was 25, I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm just gonna really explore more the fashion industry because that's what I'm really interested in. And then, yeah, and then I actually kind of just like place myself in the industry per se, you know, because I say, okay, instead of me looking for an opportunity to be in fashion, I should create an opportunity. And I was currently in the tech field, so I was like producing and creating different campaigns for like blockchain technology, teaching corporations and like the community of like Miami-Dade on how to utilize this new technology, like cryptocurrency and the metaverse and all of this. And then the market drop, and I say to myself, okay, I have to really pivot and think of something else, you know? So I killed the company and I thought to myself, okay, I think I'm going to start to model. Like I'm gonna give it a try. I'm 25, I'm not getting any younger, like now or never. So then, yeah, and then I started and I produced a NFT fashion show. That was the first fashion show I produced. So it happened inside of the metaverse, but also in person as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my first time ever producing a show, had no clue what the hell I was doing, let alone, I think I've probably been to maybe one or two fashion shows before that, you know?
Okay.
And not like real fashion shows, but like community fashion shows or small ones like Miami Fashion Week. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of went off of what I've learned from television. And then, yeah, that jumpstarted my career in the production side of things, but also in the fashion side of things as well.
Wow, what an inspiring journey. Oh my God. I knew, of course, I understood. First of all, I would like to give you a compliment because you said, okay, I've owned companies all my life, but I was like, what this kid is like? You look so beautiful, fresh, and young, but you like, when I was 21 or 25, you look amazing. And already, can you imagine this brain luggage, this brain muscle you have turned to train so many years, and you are so diversified, like you can really do everything from there all by yourself, like entrepreneurship and business. And I love your boldly approach, like, okay, like, this maybe fairy tale, like people and long stock, and she's like, okay, I have never tried it before. That's for sure I can make it. Like you said, you too, because right, I love it what you have already mentioned, that why should I like sit and wait for opportunity? I'm creating opportunity, right? It's
Yeah.
how it happens. So amazing story. And you said that, and I wanted to be a model, and you kind of already, I know I don't want to open too much because I want you to deliver this amazing story, but you pre-shared with me actually how you found your strategy to become on that level you are now in modeling, in show, because it's so competitive. We know that, right? You and
Mm,
me, it's so competitive, like, so many people all over the world, they come to
mm,
Milano, Paris, Cannes, all these spots, and to be noticeable, you have to work hard, but
mm,
and you have to do something really boldly, and like to figure out, okay, how I should actually approach this domain and industry. Tell
mm.
us, walk us your journey into this. Yes. kind of transformation, how you're very, very successful model now, you're so like attracted all over the world, but it's so competitive, and how actually you have achieved all that. I know this story you shared, but I want my audience, our audience, to listen. This is very, you're so innovative. Amazing.
Yeah. For me, honestly, it was really challenging trying to get into the modeling industry. Because for me, as a male model, like I'm a short male model, you know, I'm like 5'10" and a half, 5'11" on a good day. And all the other models are like male models are like 6 foot and above, like 6 foot bare minimum, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like when I'm going to castings for runway in like the bigger cities like New York, Milan, it's like almost impossible for me to like get booked because of my height. But for me, I took like a business strategy to it, you know, because yeah, I mean, for me or for everyone that's a model, we're all like our own business, right?
Yeah.
You know, we a lot of times self-manage ourselves or we're managed by another company, but overall, like we're a brand of ourselves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I knew if I could brand myself good enough to be more like instead of just like a model, like you know, like somewhat like an investment for say, you know, because I come along with like a clientele, I come along with the buyers and press and media and all of this, and a lot of models just come along with just like a pretty face and that's about it, you know, and nothing else comes after that. But I think one thing that really made me attractive in the market was because like how I branded myself,
Mm-hmm.
not just as a model, but like an actual brand, you know? And that helped me kind of advance more in the fashion industry, but also like traveling and being consistent at every fashion week really what helps, you know, because a lot of models, like we all know, like runway models don't get paid a lot of money, and it's difficult for them to be able to do runway show like or season after season after season, a New York to like you know Tokyo, Milan, Paris, like all of that, like week after week. That can be really expensive. But for me, it was like it was an investment for me to be consistently seen in the industry around the world. And after a year or so of doing that, I became like familiar, you know, and it's still growing to this day. So, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like you said, it's about holistic approach, especially now in our more and more advanced digitalization world, where actually soon we don't need just kind of not dolls. Everybody say, "Oh, models and just dolls." No, but I mean soon like metaverse and all this like special type of fashion industry, and because of COVID, right, and everything, we couldn't travel, so now actually everything happens like NFT. Like soon we don't need just okay, I don't want to be rude, but bodies walking, right? But
Mm,
when it's holistic approach like you are, you could give extra values, so
mm,
many different talents, you're packing like all inclusive package, right?
mm,
Then you have to make yeah, like you have beautifully mentioned, like brand yourself, right? And then be persistent. It's not about perfection, it's about progress every single day, because people, they do kind of believe that somehow you get one times there and two and you're a big star. No, because now social media, so many people want there. Like if you don't work hard, and then you have to make yourself recognizable, and you really could manage doing that perfectly.
mm,
Because now, like, when I saw your concept, right? You are
mm,
concept, really, like, and that. So of
mm,
course it attracts that much, because oh my God, this person, he can that and that and that. It's like you're like a role model for so
mm,
many, so young, but you can coach and teach and mentor everybody now. Like,
mm,
can stay there, like you said, and maybe look like these guys, and they know tomorrow they're out, nobody will remember them. But what
yeah,
you can hear, it's amazing. And
yeah.
it's about charisma and attitude. Look at your pictures. Come on, guy. You're killing attitude when you walk. You know,
No,
you're over 2 meter high actually,
no.
just like that. So wow, actually I didn't know your height, and now I'm even not surprised, even if it's, because I'm giraffe. I'm 180. You know,
Mm,
I am so long, but I had another problem at school because in Soviet I was too long and I walked like this because I was too
mm,
shy. I was
mm,
like awkward with all this, like, dinosaur.
mm.
Okay, but show not about me. You should like Valera. Amazing. So okay, tell me about your like biggest kind of milestone dream which has happened one day and you're like, oh my god, this is happening and it makes me happy, because it's never and ever, never ever ending
Yeah,
road. You cannot celebrate small victories, because then it's
yeah.
never enough. Then it's actually why you're doing that, it's never ever enough. You have to celebrate small victories. What was your big small victory?
Mm, I would say, oh, there's been so many, honestly. Like I've been so blessed, like over the last like 2 years, 2.5 years with my company expanding, from Miami to New York to Milan, to Paris, and now to Tokyo. So that's a really, small but big victory for me. Being able to attend and walk the red carpet for the film festival last year, not once but twice, was a small but really big accomplishment for me. Something I had on my bucket list that I was looking to do. Um, and then definitely one of my favorite ones was, one of my publications from last season for Tokyo Fashion Week. I got published in Vogue Japan, for like, like one of the best like styles for Fashion Week. And I was like it was nice because like it was the only, not only like only American that was like published in that section, but I was the
Wow.
only black American, like the only black man that was there. So for me to be able to come halfway across the world and be able to tap into a new culture, a new scene of fashion, and to be recognized for my style, it meant a lot to me, honestly. It was like a confirmation, like, okay, you're on the right road. You're doing something. Just continue, consistent.
Amazing, amazing. I'm so happy for Ren. I'm supporting it with all my heart, because I love these stories about, yes, dreaming hard, working hard, but then celebrate. And it's again about diversity, e- inclusion, and equality, because we still know like it's a lot of, like I even experienced that, like stigma and taboo and all that stuff. And when we can break these barriers, right? And I do believe like fashion, art, music, for me all this art, they are
Mm,
uniters, because actually
mm,
basically you and me, probably if we met each other on Vogue Japan, and we could never speak the same, I mean, we couldn't verbalize, but
mm,
still just with our eyes, because fashion and art, it's united. We
mm,
already in the same tribe, and we already
mm,
kind of cannot hurt each other, because like, because right, fashion, it's this world where we all can be together. Like we don't need to fight that much. Okay, it's very competitive, but I mean
so
still,
competitive, so
yeah,
competitive.
yeah, but still,
And
I mean,
a question for you. Question for
yeah,
you. Like I
okay.
know you're interviewing me, but a question for you. I wanted to pick your mind about something. Okay, so what do you think about like the what do you think of the fashion industry right now? Um, like, it's a very broad question. Let me be more
Mm-hmm.
specific. What do you think about the up and coming, like, the up and coming designers and the up and coming producers, those people who are looking to become bigger in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like what do you think about them and their way of thinking and how they're going about it per se?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, first of all, that you turn the focus of the show, because usually, like, really sitting here and like pumping, and so I have so much bubbling. I want to talk, but usually I don't know. This is not my show. This is not my show. It's not about me. But yes, first of all, let's be honest that I'm still quite new, but already not new in this massive fashion focus on me last 2.5 years, because it was not my decision. Like, I'm like you, I'm double master degree, now I'm PhD, I'm nerd, like nerd. But it was circumstances, which now I know it's not coincidence. I represented Norway in Mrs. World in Las Vegas, biggest stage, 40 years pageant, the most important, the first one. And I won this prize, Mrs. World Congeniality. Nobody can even pronounce that. I have never heard about that before. Sometimes people, they joke. Last time I had big production, they call me, you Mrs. World Konnichiwa or something, you know. But actually, I have no idea what it is. But actually, it means beautiful inside out, right?
Nice.
And it was focus. Focus was 25%, like you said, on appearance. But it should be holistic approach. It should be alignment with your inner values, your inner beauty, with your core values, right? Community engagement and a lot of other stuff, which like you mean also. I believe designers and fashion productions and people who are in this domain, if they want still to be professional enough, because now it's a good thing about social media that so many people can get more information and more maybe entrance into this fashion. Because before, right, let's be honest, we didn't have all these platforms, and we had kind of 10-15 top models, right? Like recognizable in the whole world, because they were scouted on the street, because how otherwise you could find the model. But now everybody can make their own profile on social media, and it's a good thing, because if somebody work hard, has a dream, but maybe not this standard, like look at, you said like yourself, your height, right, and my age. I'm this year 45 years old, and I'm top international model. Last 2 years, everybody won't have piece of me. But before, could I even dream about starting being this model like at age of 43 years old? No, right? So this is a very good thing about social media. Another part that I still do believe that people should be a little bit more professional, because like Paris Fashion Week, Milano Fashion, we kind of still would like to have some standards, right? But when you see now backstage, that I do love that girls and boys, they're so boldly, they have this attitude, and they can walk, run away, but you still believe that, I don't know, they're not professional models, right? And like you said also, I do believe that sustainability, eco fashion, it's very, we have to advocate about slow fashion, because you know all this what is happening about landfills, about fast fashion, you know, like pollution, everything what is happening now. I was on podcast about sustainability, because I'm now just representing on my red carpet, like you, third time on Cannes Festival, just sustainable fashion, other upcycling or heritage special slow fashion, one piece of a kind, to uplift heritage special woven techniques, which actually now outsourced of big this Zara, H&M and everything. Because can you imagine, you know, Zara and H&M, they produce 16 collections per year. 30% are never sold.
Crazy.
60% are just thrown away in Asia, right? And the second pollutive industry in the world, you believe, and I believe before I start because I'm nerd, I believe it was flying. Everybody, like, you know, criticizing you should not fly because this is so much pollution. Forget it. Textile production, fast fashion, much worse. First, it's oil and gas industry, and then it's textile fashion. Dye and textile, I mean, like coloring, takes a lot of energy, a lot of what. This is my passion. I could talk with you, like, you know, hours. So I believe, if you ask me, that because I do believe that you want to focus on expanding, right? And so this, it has to be commitment to eco responsible choices. You should also kind of at least raise awareness a little bit that, please, let's make a choice, like, you know, because fashion and clothes, we interact every single day. We make small choices, what to wear, what to buy, right? And we have to give like information that at least you should be committed to wear these clothes at least 30 times, like not one time and throw away. So that's, I believe, like fashion designers, it should not be just tokenism, like we are sustainable, we are eco fashion, we are vegan, but actually to do a little bit more than just to make public profile, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. I don't want to look at, to sound very criticized and very like, oh, you have that and that, but at least a little bit conscious, a little
That's
bit.
that's how the industry is, though, And I mean, the longer I'm in the industry, I understand why they're so strict. Because you have so many, how can I say, like phonies, phony fake people who forget about the art of actually producing fashion or creating a story behind a collection and things like this. And they look just at like a profit per se. So I know many people, especially in Miami, like who consider themselves like designers, and they buy everything from these fast fashion websites, and put their logo on it and say, "Oh, I designed this." And in the fashion industry, like the real fashion industry, real designers actually craft and make this, and there's a story behind each piece. So when you have people in the industry who are like kind of diluting what fashion is actually about, I understand why they're so um, strict on like who they allow inside of this space, because there's so many people who are just kind of like really forgetting about what fashion is supposed to all be about, and they're just looking to make money. Same thing on the production side. I know many production companies who produce like these shows with designer after designer after designer after designer, and there's no real concept behind any of the shows. And every real designer has a story behind the collection that they create. And I truly believe as a producer, everything should be produced differently. Everything has a different story. And in order to be able to relate that story to the audience, it must be displayed in a certain way. And so many people are just kind of like really bashing the industry and just kind of like, yeah, not really helping the industry like evolve for say, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. It's like, like you mentioned so beautifully now, it's a message. Every collection is the way to express the feeling of the designer through this part of art, right? And and kind of you, in this way you cannot talk like you cannot talk about music. It's just 7 notes, but you can make beautiful music. It's the same.
Mm,
It's silk, it's textile, but you making like the message through this is your feeling, this is your way to communicate with audience, right?
mm,
Then you have to be persistent, and like you said, it's just not about appearance, how it looks on a good day just in curated filters and reels,
mm-hmm.
but it should be the whole process, right? The whole
The whole
chain.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and where actually you and kind of you should question where actually this product or textile garments kind of were born,
Mm,
right? And actually where this after will be buried.
mm,
It's so important to think about that, because
yeah.
if you just Google now dead landfills of textiles in Asia, oh my God! So I showed it to some to my daughter, because they had like special TED Talks week in that school, and she came to mom, what is actually now about sustainability? What is hot topic? You could advise me. I said, Nicole, go and Google fast fashion and child labor and all. She was in shock, and she made a TED Talk, like really awareness uh, between teenagers, because TikTokers, all these people, they never wear the same stuff. It's
Mm,
cool that they can have it like $3 short, but do these kids question themselves that another kids make that possible in Asia, in India, right? And what kind of conditions they work? So it's yeah, I think that it's kind of these shows, like such shows after show, no concept, no story behind, just massive productive business machine, money, money, money. It's not like it was before. It was always close, we know that, but we have to make difference. Like you and me, even now by talking like that, you're so young, you're so into this fashion, you're so already wise, not even intelligent. You're very wise even to ask me that questions, because you and me, we already experienced the same. We can make a ripple effect, right? Maybe somebody can hear us and say, oh really, yeah, it's a little bit a shame just to maybe wear and buy and buy and buy, even not asking, do I need all these clothes? Or maybe I can upcycle a little bit, right? Just change a little bit, just need a little to make clothes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's suddenly debate, like. But tell me then about more. Now it's your time to brag, like really brag, like, because you have accomplished so much, and I want, because you already also show us your consciousness, your level of actually of evolvement, even be so young. So I would like, of course, then people like you should rule this industry forward. So tell us about your then magazine and your companies, exactly what actually your projects are involved, what kind of people and clients maybe you want to attract, what kind of people maybe they are actually searching through me now. They want person like you. Oh my god, he's young, he's smart, he can business, he can NFT, he can blockchain. You're like kind of all inclusive. Yeah. Tell about brag.
Well, not to brag, no. But
No, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
yeah.
It's not bragging,
Um,
actually.
Currently, my biggest company, my baby, is so all my companies all fall up under the same name, Nonpareil. And we have Nonpareil Models, Nonpareil Art Agency, Nonpareil Media and PR. Nonpareil Media and PR is my longest lasting, my biggest baby per se. So we've been open 3 years now. 3 years now we've been open. We opened the first location in Miami. Our second location was in Milan, and then third was in New York, and then Paris, and now we're getting ready to open a location in Japan, in Tokyo. So for me, these last few years have really just been about expansion, expanding into these different cultures, into these different networks, and really evolving myself as much as possible into the culture, into the fashion. The media and PR agency, our job is to create all of the promotional content for our clients. So I'm a creative director for many different brands around the world. I create all of their brand campaigns, their commercials, fashion shows, high fashion editorials, anything that you see in the media, in magazines, TV, billboards, blah, blah, blah. I'm like the one who's the creative mind behind all of it. And then through our PR department, we get everything published, magazines, TV, billboards, blah, 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 all of that. And then last year, we opened a modeling agency. However, I'm not the biggest fan of running a modeling agency. I know what it's like to be a model, and a lot of models are very superficial and like prima donnas, and they don't bring in a lot of money. So for me and my investors, I say, okay, listen, I don't think this is a great route. Let's revamp and represent other people than models. So we are now the art management agency. So we represent just a bunch of different international artists from around the world, ranging from let's say painted artwork, graffiti artwork, contemporary art, jewelry, etc. So we tapped into that route while still staying in fashion with the production company. So that's currently what we're doing now. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why diversity is the game changer. You're very, very diversified individual yourself, and your
Yes.
everything with your touch and
Sorry.
beauty.
And then I totally forgot the magazine. This year or this past year, towards the end of the year, around like November, I became chief and editor for the Italian and U.S. branch for Trendsetters only magazine.
Mm-hmm.
They originally started in China and Africa, and we went into partnership like maybe a year and a half ago. And since then, I've been helping them to expand internationally to the U.S., also certain parts of Europe. But now this year we publish and produce in the US, or just North America in general, Asia, Africa, Australia, and also China, so all five continents. So it's expanding quickly, but it's a process. And coming on board to this magazine, I really had a vision on how I wanted to really showcase, like, fashion editorials and like this new lifestyle of fashion, especially with it being international. So yeah, and we created our first small issue together for Art Basel in December.
Mm-hmm.
And our first real big issue will be coming out this year, at the end of April, at the end of this month. So
Oh,
I'm excited. Yeah.
congratulations, first of all. And yes, amazing. Where should I start? I would wish that the time we could stretch. But about if we should like from our yeah, very fruitful dialogue now. If you would say like three core values that really make your everything what you are touching different, like what is three core values you are operated every single day, you can check, okay, is it aligned with my core values, this and that and that.
So the main one for us is standing by the meaning of our name, of the company's name, which means no equal or no match. We're not looking to do what other people are doing, or or we're not looking to copycat off of someone. I like to really maintain the value of being original and creating something that hasn't really been done before, something that's different.
Mhm.
And another big one is being exclusive, knowing who your market is and not being open to just taking business from anyone just because you need it. And especially if it goes against like your morals or your core values or anything like that. So being really careful and strategic on who you decide to work with is really important. And the next thing is the third one I would have to say is integrity. Is one of the things that I learned from many of my mentors is having integrity and meaning what you say and doing what you say you're gonna do. Because the second you lose integrity, you lose respect, you lose clients, you lose trust, so, and if you don't have trust, integrity, or clients, you don't have a company, you don't have a business. So I would definitely say those are my three core values: being different, and being having integrity, and also I forget the second one.
It's
But
like I
yes,
love, because I believe I commented the opposite: be different or be that. First of all, and then like
yeah.
acting as you're preaching. It's the most.
Hmm.
It's my also. It's the most important. And my last question before we have a little game as well before wrapping. So I'm now very passionate also advocate about like integrity, because diversity and not being like others, so important topic to me, because I believe I'm the only one maybe who opened my podcast being in mental institution, because I have OCD, neurodivergence. And I don't know if you have heard about neurodiversity. It's kind of new wrapping, but I believe very positive wrapping of people who has ADHD, OCD, autism spectrum. And we have a lot of people now, especially in creative industries, who has these spectrums, and some of them identified with diagnosis, then they have better help and services, and some unfortunately not. Then it's the burnout, depression, bipolarity, all that things. And being myself diagnosed maybe 15 years ago, so it was the first time very severe episode. I was asking myself about therapeutical help. And because of war in my country, I'm proud Ukrainian. It has helped a lot last 2 years. I've lost everything in 15 minutes. My parents were like 6 weeks under season and bombing. My kids, they are orphans from Ukraine. They also have special a lot of stuff, but not about. But I mean, like, I put myself together. I was riding Cannes Festival, fashion, Milano, New York, everything. But when it was not balanced, I was not taking of my mental health, and it's broke. Last August, it's broke totally. So I prescribed myself. I drove myself. Said I'm a responsible mom and person in society. I don't feel well. I need help, and I have OCD. Maybe it's obsessive compulsive disorder. So because my intrusive thoughts, they were aggressively killing me 24/7, and I was almost 4 weeks, 4.5 in this institution. It's how actually it came to me that I have my voice. I'm not because I'm Valeria model. I'm not a model. First of all, I'm a mother. I'm PhD. I'm public speaker. I'm advocate for sustainability, for mental health. Being model it's one platform which I'm using to like you to advocate, right? So my focus now to help people like me being role model. Not just I've heard somebody, it's me. I have this OCD mental disorder, which I sometimes it helps me because then that's why I'm so creative. Like it's like medal with two sides. But I hope that I can make a little bit effect for other people who's sitting there losing hope, looking all these curated Instagram profiles. And they believe like me and you, we have this life with butterflies and roses. No, it's not like that, right? So what do you think about fashion industry being so competitive, we have 24/7 with so much press on psychological and not just physical part but mental, right? How to still deal and be mentally balanced while you actually staying in this fashionable very competitive world with people like this all the time? Because I meditate every day, morning, evening, journaling, gratitude, much stuff. What would you suggest to young generation people who has also maybe like me OCD, ADHD, little bit depression, all this stuff, because stress everywhere, so much stress now. What would, yeah.
I would say the biggest thing is staying focused. If you stay focused on what the overall goal is, so for you or what the overall project is, I definitely feel like you're able to tune out a lot of the craziness that's going on in the industry. Because if you're truly focused, you're not looking at what other people are doing or what they're saying about what you're doing or how you're displaying your art per se. And if you're not paying attention to those people, then it really makes you focus and you're able to complete the mission that you set out to complete, and you're really able to tell the story how you envision to tell it. So for me, it's just to really just being focused and staying true to you, and take criticism, yes, but don't take criticism to the point where you feel like you need to change yourself or change your message, especially if it's something you truly believe in.
Amazing. So authenticity, right? Like so
Yeah.
integrity, authenticity. Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. I think it's so valuable that we can help all these young people looking up to you, to your profile, because you're so successful there now. And now we know that behind that it stays a lot of work, and work sometimes make a lot of stress. And if we don't pause, breathe, and compassionate and kind to ourselves, nobody then actually can change. We need to find inner peace, right? And
Yeah.
then just to be truly yourself. Like we start the show and said, you are perfect. You do you, I do me.
Oh, yes,
but
literally. Excuse
but
me.
in fashion, it always you kind of it's very difficult. Still, you do you and me do me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to play all the time somebody else, and
Yeah.
but inside you have to stay. You should, yeah. Thank you so much. Last question. Even you told me you maybe have not been watching fairy tales, but fashion shows. But still, I believe this fairy tale, which this little beauty, she's my biggest helper now. Yes, she's so beautiful, and pink, my favorite color. So I one day when you and me we do something, let's do something really crazy pink, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Pink looks good on my skin tone, so it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
good for me.
Yes, me too. I'm like kind of black. So yes, this little pink beauty, I bought her, and she used to help in this also. I believe it's very fashionista fairy tale. I love this special style, but you know which fairy tale, right?
Yes, the Aladdin, no?
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
I said Princess Jasmine, like she was in
Mhm.
very special clothes. I
Yeah.
love this. Yeah, but okay, she is always watching me, trying to send me signal, Valeria, don't talk too much, instead of my producer here. But okay, and she's like, din, 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 din. Okay. And she's very tough. She helps really making the wishes come true. And I
Mm.
know, anyway, unless wishes don't true, if you don't work, but we need to believe a little bit in magic, right? So she would like to help as many people as possible. She can't grant you 3 wishes, sorry. But one, she can. So
Oh,
please,
really?
yes,
Really?
yes. So one wish from Travon today for my helper, my
Am,
fashionista.
am I supposed to say it out loud or am I supposed to keep it to myself?
Yes, babe, loud, loud. Because
Loud,
yeah.
really? Okay.
No, the second one, the third one, you can tell me in Cannes Festival when we do crazy pink stuff on red carpet. But actually, this year it's not red carpet, it's green carpet. You know that, right?
No.
Yes,
Green. That's my
sustainable
favorite color.
fashion. First
Oh,
time
that
green
changes
carpet.
everything. That changes every single thing.
Exactly. That's for me. I gave this kind of gossip 3 days ago from some, and I was like, what? But my dress and everything which was woven 3 months is for red carpet. I said, no, not anymore. But okay, we take it after. So just it's green, babes. Um, mhm.
Okay.
Yes, but the wish.
Yeah,
To make it back to red carpet because your outfit for the red carpet.
I'll be fine. I got tons of things to wear.
Of
Tons of
course.
things. Yeah, yeah.
Just smile, and the
For
3 things you always have: attitude, attitude, attitude.
yeah.
You're fine. Yeah, but this
Mm,
this again back to her.
okay, my wish for this year is to be published in Vogue again.
Okay, actually, before we wrap, I want next time when you're traveling to Japan, if you are there. I was contacted by a very very professional. I love but it's up to it's upcycling sustainable fashion.
Hmm.
Japanese designer. He's working just with upcycle jeans, and he was making collection for Angelina Jolie for Vogue. And he wanted to collab with me when I'm in Japan because she saw that okay, it may be complete, but he told me that I look like her a little bit.
Mm.
So I want then, of course, when you are there, so I want to connect you guys. It will
Yeah,
be
for sure.
amazing. So, but you can take after.
Yeah.
But maybe you won't Vogue not Japan anymore. I don't know. Anyway, so okay, so Vogue again. Okay, she knows that. We will take that.
And
I mean,
when it happens, we'll do another podcast for me to talk all about. Oh my goodness, your genie.
okay. But actually, okay, we can also take that because after I'm talking actually about Monaco Fashion Days, and it will become a special photography from Vogue Scandinavia to feature me and my best friend. So actually, I can help. She can help me.
Oh,
We tell
nice.
them.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
So, thank you for staying with us. I'm not finished, I know, but Trevon, thank you so much for sharing your insights. It was much, much, much beyond inspiration because oh my God, you're so wise. You're jam.
Thank you.
It is. And I'm so happy that we can give really message to young generation because it's so easy. They are bumped with so many curated, filtered, masked, right?
Hmm.
Images all the time, especially on Instagram. So I do love that you and me, we still can speak and boldly ask questions and open to learn from each other, right?
Mm.
I'm always love constructive criticism. Then I love it. Like probably also then I can learn something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still do me. But I'm still
Yeah.
learning that. So thank you so much. I wish you all your best wishes, and I know they do. And I'm really looking forward to meet you soon and do really cool stuff together.
Indeed.
So yes, please, and our beautiful audience, thank you so much for being with us. I hope you are not tired of all my buzzing all the time again about my OCD, and she's again about all that stuff. But yes, maybe if I do like really like then people like, oh really, she has it actually. You see, she's even talking about OCD, being by OCD all the time. Okay. Thank you so much for giving me
Thank
the
you.
most precious commodity. It's your time. We know time. It's the most precious gift. And attention and your genuine smile and soon beautiful hug. I see you in Cannes.
Yes,
Right?
sounds good. Thank you so much. We
Maybe
talk soon.
absolutely last, then last wishes to our audience. Then like
Yes,
wrapping up.
yes, last wishes or last words?
No, I mean last words, last advice from you. Like what exactly hitting your brain muscle just right now?
Stay true to you. Be you. Don't listen or don't give a fuck about what anybody else is saying about you or what you can or what you can do or what you should do. No one knows you like yourself. So just be true to you and live the life you set out to live. Yeah.
Amazing. And I even don't open this sip anymore. So yes, that's the beautiful diamond from Travon. You do you. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, love. Talk
Thank you
soon.
so
Ciao,
much.
ciao.
Looking forward again to yes, the
Yes.
stuff now.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao, bye.